Do you feel retro game collecting has become more about bragging on social media, bragging about what they have on social media?
That's a very general question. I will say this. I'm not involved with the Facebook groups, but I hear they're very toxic. The retro game like Facebook groups. You always say, oh, these ones are good, but a lot of it is just about either showing off or people trying to flip stuff. I don't know if that's included with social media. I guess it is Facebook.
Oh, yeah.
I will say this. When you have people that have to just... I mean, hell, there's people that either you or me... It's not as much as it used to be. It used to be, hey, Pat, did I do good getting these games? And it's like... Why do you get to be validated by your collecting through someone else?
Right. Are you happy with your pickups?
Yes.
Then that's all it's done. Now, I have friends who they don't do it all the time, but every once in a while they'll be like, damn, look at this score. And it's all like, cool, congrats. Yeah. Like, you want to share in the excitement of the hobby. And I think for some of these people, the hobby is finding some good games that they've been looking for. But, every week, I see people posting up, yeah, these are my finds from this weekend. And it's like... I don't know. There is a lot of bragging, I think, but I honestly...
Sharing's not bragging, though. When I ask for people to share what they found...
No, obviously, that's what I'm kind of referring to. That's not bragging at all. That's more fun. No, I guess I have to say, on Twitter, I don't see a lot of bragging. I would imagine that Facebook video game groups, which I've never been a part of, I'm going to guess that that's like a lot of, like, well, maybe Nintendo age, but, especially, like, late 90s, other like video game message boards, it was all about slapping your dick on the table.
I will say this: YouTube's a lot of bragging.
Yeah, YouTube pickup videos. That's a lot of bragging. But Twitter, you have to understand, Twitter is basically the only social media I use, and I don't see a lot of bragging. I see a lot of people having fun with it. So I think it probably depends on where you go.
Yeah, I think collectors in general, it's always weird. If you say I want to show off or share versus brag about it. You're splicing hairs, I think, a lot of times. I think a lot of it's in the presentation. What's the tone? Like, a lot of times I'll call you up on the phone and be excited about something. And of course, if you're having a bad day, you might say, "Oh, Pat's just bragging about stuff he found at the flea market," versus me just wanting to share. Hey, I found this stuff. How do you tell the difference?
I generally no, I don't think you're ever really bragging about it, honestly.
It's like, oh, I found this game. Yeah.
I don't even really done that. There are days where I'm more interested in it than less, depending on how much caffeine is in my system, but I don't ever think you're actually bragging about it.
But I'm just saying is, in general, how would you be able to tell?
It's a hobby of yours.
How would you be able to tell, in general, if someone's bragging versus just sharing their find? What's the line to you?
It would be... See, maybe that's why I don't find it as much. I don't think of it as much as bragging on Twitter, because it's tough to read into the tone, whereas it would all be in tone on something like a YouTube video.
You'd be like, oh, look what I got, everyone.
Yeah, and I got it for only $15, and it goes for $200 and blah, blah, blah. But, like, someone being like, hey, check it out, I found these 3 sweet PC Engine games at the flea market. Totally wasn't expecting that. That's not bragging. That's genuine excitement over being like, I found something I totally didn't fucking expect to find at the flea market. Even if it's someone who's like, hey, I caught like 4 common turbo games, something like that, or a semi-uncommon Game Boy game. It's not even, it's just, I think a lot of that, I think an easy way to tell the excitement is also about what the pickup is too. It's like, oh, look, this is just totally something I wasn't expecting to find, I don't know. I don't want to judge anyone on this, because honestly, it's too tough to read into, at least on the social media that I look into. Yes, there's a lot of bragging in video game collecting, but is it? Yeah. But is social media the issue? I don't think so.
Versus just collecting in general.
Yes.
Because I've met comic collectors that brag about stuff, or anything else. Toy collectors. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's any group of collectors. Collectors are a certain type of people in general, and you always have the negative sort of corner of that sort of population.